Hey everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. Welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks, and if you're new to my channel, a special hello. I like to talk about the world of food writing, and I have my own little special corner of the Booktube universe. If you're new to food writing is a subsection of nonfiction writing. So nonfiction and food writing can cover anything from the history of a specific food, special topics, and the intersection of food and culture, anthropology, or environmental sciences. Chef memoirs are also a big part of the food world. And I am here to bring you the books that I hauled this January. Before we get into the books that I hauled this January, I just want to remind everyone that I am still crowdfunding for the Read It and Eat subscription box. If you don't know what Read It and Eat is a bookish foodie subscription box on a mission to fight hunger and support small businesses. The box is themed each quarter and comes with a gently used food writing book, 2 to 3 foodie delicious items that support small businesses in the United States, and $5 from each of your purchases does go to fight hunger locally by keeping food pantries stocked and keeping food accessible to those who need it. If you're interested, the crowdfunding information is going to be linked down below, and there are exclusive Read It and Eat boxes that you can only get as a donation reward, including truffles, charcuterie boards, and wine kits. Okay, enough of all of that. Time to actually talk about the books. So first up, I am continuing to purchase all of Mark Bittman's books. This is A Bone to Pick, the good and the bad news about food, with wisdoms and advice on diets, food safety, GMOs, farming, and more. So Mark Bittman is a New York Times best-selling author. I have a couple of his books, and this one came out in 2015. So you might know the name of Mark Bittman for his books on, wait for it, How to Cook Everything Vegetarian, How to Cook Everything Basics, How to Cook Everything Fast, The Best Recipes in the World, Food Matters, The Mini Minimalist, and VB6. Eat vegan before 6 o'clock to lose weight and to restore your health for good. Now, his books do tend to teeter along that line of diet culture, which I am not an advocate of at all, and I don't like to cover those kinds of books on this channel. But I do want to hear his conversations about food safety and GMOs, which is why I specifically picked up this book. I don't think you will ever see me pick up books like Eat Vegan Before 6 p.m. to lose weight. If you practice a vegan diet, I have nothing against you. It's nothing like that. It's just I have had a very tumultuous relationship with food, and I find that reading about diet culture just aggravates me, and I don't know, can I actually use the word triggering? I digress. Excited to read this book, not buying his Vegan Before 6 o'clock book. Next up is a little bit of an older book, but this is The Doritos Effect, The Surprising New Truth About Food and Flavor by Mark Schatzker. And I promised Dan I would touch the cover on camera because it is an embossed cover. So you can feel the texture, like Dorito dust, Cheeto dust. I'm excited to talk about this. I think that this is going to be a conversation about food adulteration, genetically modified food, alternative ingredients, and things like that. So let me read the inside cover for you. Have you ever wondered why those perfect red tomatoes from the supermarket taste like tap water? And did a simple roast chicken always require half a pound of seasoning? It's no illusion. The flavor of food is changing, and it has been for more than half a century. Tomatoes, chicken, strawberries, and everything we grow is bigger and cheaper, but blander than ever. At the same time, technology now lets us produce in the lab the very flavors that have been lost on the farm. And the result is that we have utterly transformed what and how much we eat. In this remarkable new book, award-winning journalist Mark Schatzker discovers the missing pieces of the food puzzle: flavor. Drawing on advances ranging from brain science of food addiction to how plants communicate with insects, the Doritos Effect shows how we have interfered with a highly sophisticated chemical language that evolved to guide our nutrition. Evolution did not program us to get fat. We simply tricked ourselves into craving the wrong foods. The solution is as novel as it is exhilarating. We are on the cusp of a new revolution in agriculture that promises better health and longer lives through the one thing we desire the most, better tasting food. Next up is Slices of Life, a food writer cooks through many a conundrum by Leah Eskin. So I'm realizing now, okay, so when I got the book, I thought, ooh, a food writer testing things, recipes and things like that. Really interesting. I have found now by opening the book that this is a lot of recipes. So I think that there are going to be I realize you probably can't see it. There's going to be lots of conversations, but there are definitely lots of recipes. So I'm going to give it a good old try, but like every other page I'm looking through is a recipe, which is really not my thing. Let me read the back. So for more than a decade, Leah Eskin has been serving up chronicles of everyday life, along with delightful recipes, to the readers of her Home on the Range column in the Chicago Tribune. Now she has whipped up Slices of Life, a collection of her columns transformed into a memoir. Whether faced with a mild dilemma, a small joy, or a big challenge, Leah heads straight for the kitchen. Here you'll find more than 200 recipes that have taken her from lemon tart romance through chocolate chip parenting and bad dog meatballs to post-cancer paella and many other savory stops along the way. So I got this because it was marketed as a memoir, but I probably should have paid more attention to the fact that half of this book is probably recipes. Well, my camera's gonna die, but we're just gonna keep filming until it kicks me off. The next book I got is The Planter of Modern Life by Louis Broomfield and the Seeds of the Food Revolution. No, that's not right. The Planter of Modern Life, Louis Bromfield and the Seeds of the Food Revolution. That part's the subtitle, by Stephen Heyman. So I got this used, and unfortunately there's a little bit of like color damage on the side. There's like some coffee stains on it, unfortunately, but that's fine. The inside, how a leading writer of the lost generation became America's most famous farmer and inspired the organic movement. So I am trying to learn more about the organic movement because I think I've always thought, ooh, organic is really like hoity-toity and for rich people, but I do want to understand the organic movement is a really important movement, and it is impacting the way we grow and eat food in the United States. If I'm gonna read about monocultures and food adulteration and GMOs, I have to give the other side of the argument, if you will, a fair shot. And as I learn more about it, I think some of the organic, I don't remember where I left off. The camera died. Dan and I were talking about wall sits and then a woman's place is with power tools. It's a great time. What was I talking about? Organic farming. So the point I was trying to make is that if I'm going to read about, mass market, mass produced foods, the idea of monocultures and how that hurts the environment, I should give the organic movement a chance and learn really what it's about. I think part of it is that organic gets the reputation of not only being stemmed from the hippie movement, but also I do think that organic food gets a bad reputation because it's really only accessible from a price point perspective for those who have privilege and those who have expendable funds, which I already completely agree with. There's a lot of markup that comes with organic food because of economies of scale. But I also do understand that good food really should be accessible to everyone. But I'll give the book a chance and we'll go from there. Next up is Resetting the Table, Straight Talk About the Food We Eat and Grow by Robert Parlberg with 2 A's. I will show you the cover in uno momento. So this is actually a new release. This is from 2021 and I managed to get it used. So first off, I liked the cover. I thought I really like minimalist covers. I didn't realize this month, but I bought a lot of books about food at the table and like the organic movement versus like the other side of it, which is the mass production movement. I must have been in a mood. It's cool. I'm excited. I also really liked the spine. I don't get green spines on my shelves that often, which I know these all sound like very vain things, but I think what I also like is the back, the way it's printed. I got the vibe of a nutrition fact panel somehow, just with the minimalist on it and even like the fonts that are used for the front. This is all the fonts that are used on nutrition fact labels on the back of your food. And I think that really stood out to me. So whoever was the cover designer for this book did a really fantastic job. So what is the book about, you may wonder? A bold, science-based corrective to the groundswell of misinformation about food and how it's produced, examining in detail environmental impacts, obesity, food companies, technology change, local and organic food, the ethical treatment of animals, and every other aspect from farm to table. That was a mouthful. That was a very run-on sentence, but I'm excited to read this. So those first 6 books, I got all of them used. I got all of them from Open Books. I did not think I bought this many books this month, so that was bad on me, bad Kim, because I am trying to read. You've seen it. If it's gone live already. I've already unwrapped books off my TBR. I'm trying to read books that already I own, but apparently, I remember why I bought those books. There was a 50% off sale at Open Books. So I'm already getting books, used books at a discounted price, and then got them 50% off, and it helped a nonprofit that promotes literacy in Chicago for kids and youth. Twist my arm, why don't you? So 2 books I got that are new 2022 releases. The first, I will put the picture here. I read Eating to Extinction earlier this month for Dan Saladino from NetGalley. And I loved the book so much, I wanted a hardcover copy. So I did pre-order the book. So if you haven't seen my review, I will link it above in the cards. I did a full review for that book. Thank you again, NetGalley, for giving me access to the audiobook version. So all of this should be available February 1st in the United States. The second book that is brand new, this is the only book I've actually went into a bookstore and bought brand new at Barnes & Noble's, is Taming Fruit: How Orchards Have Transformed the Land, Offered Sanctuary, and Inspired Creativity by Bernd Brunner. So this is actually not a 2022 release. This actually is from 2021. The reason I remember this book was that it was on my most anticipated releases last year for January 2021. So if you guys didn't know, I tried to every quarter talk about some of the most anticipated publications coming out in the food writing space. So I have that linked on a playlist down below, and I'll link it in the cards. It's a recommended reading list. So I wanted this book a year ago. I saw it and I love the cover. I love the back of it. And I honestly don't know a lot about orchards other than the few books I've read just about apples. But look at these inside covers. So I am excited. It is filled with a lot of beautiful pictures and historical artwork as well. So I'm excited. This is much more of like an explorative book where it's a general topic and we're going to move across time and across countries. So it's definitely more of a high level book, I'm assuming. I mean, I'm really excited to have it on my shelves, and it's really pretty. And I know that's really vain to say, but I'm excited to have this one. I've had my eye on it for quite a while, and I had a gift card, so why not use it? Or at least I think I used the gift card. Maybe I didn't use the gift card. Oops. Other book I forgot before I close out, I did buy the After the Rain Volume 3. This is a graphic novel. It's also on my wrap-up. I watched the anime on Amazon Prime and really loved it, and have been buying the books so that I could own them on my shelves. So that brings me to 5 used books, 1 new book, 1 2022 new book. That brings me up to 7, and After the Rain is a manga brings me to 8 books purchased and obtained in the month of January. Let me know in the comments below if any of these books interest you, or if you'd be interested in any of them being a book vlog or independent book review. And if you haven't already, on your way down to the comments section, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And don't forget, in the description box, I'll have more information about the Read It and Eat crowdfunding campaign. As of filming this morning, we're at $6,000 out of the $13,500 I'm trying to raise. So we're almost halfway there. You guys are already amazing. Thank you so much. And if you're not in a position to donate financially, any kind of highlighting, supporting, sharing of the crowdfunding campaign with your friends would be amazing. The rewards ship anywhere in the US and Canada. I can try and ship internationally. You'll just have to You'll just have to be a little bit more patient as I figure out how to ship globally. It will be my first time trying to do that. I hope you're well, wear a mask, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.